and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to the final Freaky Friday reading of 2021. I literally cannot believe this is the last Freaky Friday reading of this year. It's gone so fast. I know I said I was doing Myth Mondays, but I just didn't feel as connected to them. So I decided I did the one reading and stopped. But anyway, today's reading is for the legendary, iconic Miss Nina Simone. And I'm going to get straight into it. So I have Miss Simone's energy here. She's saying, please call me Nina. I have Nina's energy here. And she's very calm, but very assertive. So she's very straightforward with her answers. And she's saying this is how people were in her day. And this is one of the things, actually I feel like the main thing she wants to talk about. As you know, whenever I connect to someone, I ask them what their message is. This is their reading. And a lot of people, whenever I read, they come in the comments and say, oh, what, they didn't talk about this. This is their reading. Okay, it's up to them what they want to talk about, what they want to bring through. Not what I want to talk about, not what you want to talk about, what they want to talk about, okay? So one of the things she's really coming through with is conviction. And she's talking about how she was not scared to stand up for what she believed in, okay? Regardless of it, if it cost her her career, which it did, regardless of whether it cost her friends, relationships. She was true in her conviction, okay? She stood for equal rights. She stood for women's rights. She stood for rights for the black community. She stood in this, and she stood in it with conviction. And what she's talking about today is that we don't stand in our conviction, okay? She's talking about meaning, okay? And I played her music before I turned on the camera. She's like, my music had such a meaning. And I could just see as I played Mississippi Goddamn and I put a spell on you, you know, she's like, everything had a meaning. It came from me. It came within me. And she's saying, nowadays, you all live so externally. What will people think? What do people want me to do? What should I do? What would look good? How would that look? Would it look good if I support that cause? Would it look good if I make a song about money and hoes and pimps? Would that look good? Or do I actually want to go within and write about what I want to write about? And she's talking about artists. She's talking about us as people, us as a society. We abandon ourselves. And she's saying, regardless of anything I did, I stood true to my conviction, okay? I was not scared. She's talking about that and how fearful we are as a human race now. She's saying, in my day, women walked with confidence and we were unapologetically confident in ourselves, in our beauty, in our feminine. I was, at least. She's saying, and men loved me for that. Not that it's for, you know, men's approval, but she is saying that she was very confident in herself. She's saying people did think I lost my mind, and yes, okay, I did, but I was always true to how I felt at the time. Okay. She's saying, and as far as equal rights and justice goes, we haven't really moved at all. She's saying, I feel like we've gone backwards. I feel like we've taken steps back. She's saying, I'm going to need you to move forward. Nina Simone is very logical and regimented actually in the way she talked, which I'm surprised. She's very to the point, which I'm not surprised about, but it's the way she's just like, I'm going to need you to move forward. I'm going to need you to stand in your conviction. You cannot support everything, she's also saying, but what you do support it with conviction, okay? We're trying to do too much, okay, and you're losing yourself in the midst of it. We're losing, this is another thing she talked about before I turned on the camera, your uniqueness, by trying to please other people, by trying to stand up for every cause, by trying to be so overly righteous. We are losing our own individuality. And she's talking about a puzzle. She's saying each piece of us have a piece to the puzzle, and some of us are going to stand for equal rights, and just because you don't pioneer for it doesn't mean you don't support it. But some of us need to stand for that. Some of us need to stand for poverty and hunger. Some of us need to stand for things so we can build a picture. Whereas if we're all trying to do everything, we are losing the concept, we are going to lose the fight. She's saying you need to have conviction, and it's hard to have conviction when you're trying to have conviction towards 100 different things. Okay. She's also talking about the purpose in music. She's saying, I don't know what the purpose of music is anymore. She's talking about herself and other women of her day and men who created music again from within, from their souls, from, you know, their whole being, that they were the creation, like their music was them, it was an extension of who they were. And she's saying that is not what is being played on the radio now. You are being sold puppetry and machinery and like just false artistry. She's laughing. She's saying I wouldn't be caught dead on the radio now, because she's saying to be an artist now is actually a dishonor. She's saying that in her day you had to work so hard to create your art, to be accepted, to be understood, especially as a woman of colour. You had to work harder. She's saying nowadays I just would have to take off my clothes and shake my ass and I could have a top 10 hit. She's saying I'd rather not, thank you. She's very regal and I actually love it. I actually live for it. She's saying yes, I am. She's very sure in herself, okay, very sure in herself. There's an award that Nina Simone either... Did you win it or is it to come? There's one that she's won and there's one to come. I don't know if it's an anniversary of her passing. She's saying that there's an anniversary of her passing coming up in terms of years. There's a legacy award that Nina Simone is going to win. She said she's already won one, yes. And she's linking me back to 2016 with that, a lifetime award. Yeah, okay. She's saying, I'm proud of my legacy. I fought for the causes that I cared about. And again, that's not to say I didn't care about any others. But I made a contribution to the ones that meant the most to me. She just wants people to realise their power. She's saying, even when I wasn't in my right frame of mind, I knew how powerful I was. Okay, and she's linking in here now to magic, okay, because I really did feel that with her. There is some kind of... She's linking me to the Caribbean. Now, I know because I watched a Nina Simone documentary that she spent time in the Caribbean. She's linking me to voodoo or hoodoo, and the colour yellow. And she's saying that she would cast spells, okay? And she was very into magic and she was very into empowering herself. And she's showing me herself on the islands and just literally swaying and being outside and being with the elements. She's saying you don't have to do this, but acknowledge your own power. We are literally giving our power away. She's saying you are giving, as a society, just handing it over by being so obsessed. She's going like this as if to be like on a phone. She's like, you're obsessed and you're addicted to this external validation, okay? She's saying if all of your technologies went down tomorrow, what would you do? What would you do? You need to learn to be more carefree, okay? And that's why I think she's showing me, yes, her in the Caribbean floating and listening to music and drinking, because she was carefree, she was wild, and in our natural state, she's saying, in our human nature, we are free. We're not uptight, we're not caught up in what other people think of us. In our natural state, when you strip everything back, we are wild and free. And she's saying in her day, before all of this technology, this gadgetry, her words, this social media, I didn't care what people thought of me. And she says it saddens me to watch the uniqueness of humans diminish because they care so much about other people, other people's opinions. You're caring about them, they're caring about you, and meanwhile you're losing yourselves. She's saying to go to the mirror and look at the person in it and acknowledge that that is the only opinion that matters. Because you are not doing yourselves or this world any favours by continuously looking outside of yourselves, okay? She's saying, how do you think, as a black woman, in the times in which I was in, that I managed to do what I did, speaking about what I was speaking about? Yes, I used magic, but I was also very aware of myself, okay? I only cared about the view and perspective of myself towards myself. And if you want to make movements, if you want to shift, then you are going to have to do the same. Nina Simone is very careless because this is coming through like, do it or don't do it, I really don't care. Because for her, she's like, I did my time, and she's at peace on the other side. She's been over the other side for a while, and she's saying, I'm just kind of watching this play out. That's how she feels. Elegant, laid back. She's like, I'm just watching this play out. I don't feel like a lot of people I've connected with on the other side have missions and work with people still on the airplane. Yeah, she's saying, no, I don't do that. And she feels very just reserved and I'm just watching. Okay, and I feel this is how she would have been on Earth. She didn't interfere with other people, and that's the thing she's trying to get across. Stop being so consumed in other people and actually take a moment to focus on yourself. Okay, we're so wrapped up, yes, in everybody else's business because it distracts us from our own pain, our own wounds, our own traumas. Look at yourself in the obsession and constant attention that you give to other people. Look at yourself in that way. And I really feel that that's all she wants to say. She's saying you cannot help this world until you help you. And she's saying, in my life, I realised that a bit too late. So I'm telling you now. Look after yourself, look after your health. And the world will prosper because of it. Stand your ground, fight for your causes, and don't be backed into a corner. And she's like, I'm just watching this play out. Very short but sweet from Miss Nina Simone. And as I connected with her, I kind of knew it would be, because she didn't come through strongly. Like, she didn't come through like in the same way I've had a lot of people come through, like, I want to say this and this and this and this. She was like, I'm here and I'm ready when you are. Very calm but assertive, okay? And that's another thing I feel with her. She's almost like, you don't have to push and prod. Just be yourself. Be relaxed in yourself. That's enough. You don't have to shout and be loud and push, and, you know, your power actually just comes from being you. And owning that and focusing on that and focusing on yourself rather than what everyone else thinks you should be doing, and, you know, whether people make you feel wrong for not supporting certain things. She said it earlier, you can't support everything. It's better for you to pour your love and support into one thing, acknowledge and respect all the other causes going on. But if you're trying to give out so much of yourself, you will end up empty, and that's no help for anything at all. So, you know, she wants to bring meaning and conviction back to the world, because that's really what she was about. Everything she did had a meaning, and she held her conviction. And I feel like, yeah, we're done. Very short and sweet. I'd like to thank you all for being with me today and for being with me this month for all my Freaky Fridays. I'm grateful nonetheless, because I love Nina Simone and I think she's absolutely wonderful. And you know what, she was to the point. She didn't mess around. And so really, am I surprised that it's not a long drawn out reading? Not really. Thank you so much for being with me today, lovelies. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye.